welcome. I'm Damon Bruce here with you as we get ready for a little NBA action on 2K Sports. Wednesday in the NBA. It's the Los Angeles Lakers going up against the Boston Celtics. And without any further ado, let's head to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew at the arena. I'll be back at halftime.
And there, the Celtics earlier getting set to play. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Hello, everyone. Great to have you with us. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. First for Los Angeles, West is out there with Kobe. And the big guy in the middle, Shaquille O'Neal. What a tremendous talent. And it's LeBron James. And it's Davis at the force line. And for Boston, Rajon Rondo is out there with Jones. You've got Russell. A big first for this young rookie, getting his first appearance. And it's Bird, and it's McHale in a power forward.
You knew that at some point the window for the group of Celtics that had won the title was going to close. I mean, it was inevitable. But last year it seemed like they were going to go for one last hurrah. They added some depth and looked to reload for another run.
So the Lakers win the tip. LeBron with it. Shaq with a screen on Bird. Outside, Davis. Pass to Kobe. West outside. Back to Kobe. 6 to shoot. LeBron. Bill Russell grabs the miss. And getting back to the Celtics and Rondo's injury, a lot of people expected them to start the rebuilding process. Ended up standing pat at the deadline, Steve. Even though there was, it seemed a lot of interest.
You know, you want to give that group, KG and Pierce and Rondo, you want to give them another run. And they had their last hurrah. They didn't get it finished. And now you start the rebuilding project. So a lot of trades, a lot of movement over the summer. But I like the fact that they gave that club one more run. Yeah, one of the great shooters in the history of the game, Kevin. He was just so good. And it wasn't just the shooting stroke. It was the ability to get that shot off despite a lack of great athleticism. But he had that high release, and he used his body, used angles to get the shot off anytime he wanted.
It really was a big part of why he had such phenomenal shooting percentages his whole career. I mean, he just never went cold. And, of course, late in games, he would heat up and become basically unstoppable.
Now here's West. He dishes it to Davis. That is good.
Anthony Davis.
His presence is very comforting for this team. He's kind of a fallback option for them anytime they need it.
Rondo with it. West picks him up. Rondo kicks to Jones. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that.
And I like that move to the hoop. You use your speed, go around the bigger defender.
West kicks to LeBron. There's the pass to O'Neal. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so we will go to the line. A three-point play chance here.
Well, a coaching carousel for the Lakers last season. They made it only 5 games before firing Mike Brown. Then they decided to go in a new direction. And, boy, they went through 3 different head coaches before all was said and done. They never really were able to gain that consistency they were looking for.
There you go. That's good from O'Neal. And back to the Lakers' struggles last season. What do you think, Clark, were the main problems that, held them back from being the kind of title contender that they thought they were and a lot of people imagined they were?
Well, how much time do I have? 3 or 4 shot clocks worth? I mean, I think there were a number of issues, as you might expect. Injuries played a significant role, but I think there was discord over how they should play, really no true identity. They were a big team trying to be small, a team without a number of shooters trying to spread the floor, an older team trying to go up tempo, coaching change, and that transition. Yeah, a lot of moving parts, and it made it very difficult for everybody, I think, and it showed in how the Lakers' season went.
That's a good assessment. And here's Rondo, following the three-pointer by Anthony Davis. Jones, no luck.
Even though he missed it, he couldn't pass up that chance.
Yeah, that's an easy jump shot. You got to take that.
Here's Kobe. And that's collected by Bird.
You have to get a hand into his face because that's his range right there. Last year, Kobe Bryant became the youngest player ever to get to 30,000 points in an NBA career. What an accomplishment. It just goes to show what a special talent he has been ever since he arrived in this league.
Here's West after the made shot from Jones. West dishes to LeBron. That falls. Nice feed that time from Jerry West. LeBron's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Great-looking bounce pass to set up that play.
And, Steve, you talk about Kobe with 30,000 points. He's one of 5 players, certainly in NBA history, to score that many in a career. And, Clark, when you think about Kobe in the landscape of the NBA, all the great players have had, truly amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And part of me wants to think that if he really wanted the all-time scoring crown, he might be able to get there. But for him, as he said, it's all about rings and playing at the highest level.
Here's West. Makes it off the glass.
Jerry West.
Celtics trail by 4. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Kevin, here's what the Celtics head coach had to say when we spoke just a few minutes ago. He said that one player he's really wary of is Anthony Davis, adding he can impact the game in so many ways. Defense, shot blocking, rebounding, and scoring. He's still adding muscle, and we've got to capitalize on that strength advantage at both ends. Kevin, that's the MO for any young player. We'll see how he stands up to it.
All right, Doris, thank you very much.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the three-point variety.
Yeah, unless they make some rotations and closeouts defensively, there's more to come.
Let's keep it going for your Celtics dancer.
Boston trailing. Rondo off the pick from McHale. Rondo kicks to Russell. Back to Rondo. Nice ball movement by Boston. Kobe against Jones. Shot clock at 5. Lets it go with the 3. Good.
Sam Jones.
Jones has got 9. So it's the Lakers now. LeBron outside. Bird covering. James in the post. Off the left rim and out.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on it.
And it's Rondo penetrating. Bird against Davis. Shot clock at 6. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Lakers still pursuing another title, but it would be a real shock if that were to come this year. A lot of age and injury on this team. They lose Dwight Howard. This is a club that just doesn't have enough athleticism and speed to contend for a title.
And the first one drops. Well, back to the Lakers. Clark, do you think they're too old? Is this a team that needs to rebuild?
Not yet, Kevin. The saying is young doesn't win in the NBA. I think for them, health and chemistry are the most important factors. Also, I think this is a franchise that has shown it can make a home run deal, like acquiring Pau Gasol in 2007. Got 2 titles out of that move. I think they'll look to add some youth through their bench and restructure the personnel a bit, and they'll position themselves for another run, perhaps.
And it's tied up with that one.
You know, it's always strange to see how a team will react when they lose one of their biggest stars. Last season, the Celtics were thought to be dead in the water when Rondo tore his ACL, but they actually rallied and went on the winning streak after the injury.
Now here's LeBron. He has 6. Abdul-Jabbar. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron.
Yeah, I love that. Perfect time for that hook shot.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Now Rondo. Pass to Havlicek. Wide open look. And he drops that one in. Well, Clark, as you said, with Rondo and the Celtics, they would go on to win the next 7 right after his injury. And overall, Steve played better than expected the rest of the way.
Sometimes that's the way these things go, Kevin. A star player goes down, everybody else kind of steps up. And instead of feeling sorry for themselves, they use it as a rallying cry. And all those role players for Boston really picked up the extra slack. And I thought they made a great push to end that season after the Rondo injury.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
And the other thing we're seeing is great ball movement. We're seeing a lot of good offensive execution, ball movement, player movement, setting up assists.
Guys, the Celtics went from being a powerhouse in the East and middle of the pack last season, but they still protected their home court as well as anybody. Easy to find inspiration here with the parquet floor under his shoes and the banners hanging over top.
Now, here is Havlicek. Walker with it. Now, guarded by Goodrich. Tatum. Rebounded by the Lakers.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
You do have to love the parquet floor here, as you said, Clark. Pride certainly a factor last season, as the Celtics were able to finish, Steve, with a 27-13 record here at their home.
And even though the Celtics would end up just as the 7th seed in the East, you knew they would control their home floor just because of their veteran experience, their talent, their coaching. So they were really able to ride that home court into the playoffs. The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
Johnson outside. He feeds it to Goodrich. Into Abdul-Jabbar. Right through the D for the layup. Abdul-Jabbar's got 9.
Well, he's established himself as one of the league's premier clutch performers, you know, with some unbelievable plays down the stretch of tight ball games.
And I also really like his skill as a low-post passer, guys. He sees the whole court and doesn't hesitate to pass up his own shot if he can get the ball to a teammate for a better look.
And here is Baylor, looking for his first basket still in this one. The feed to Abdul-Jabbar. Excellent D there from Pierce. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Tatum. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker.
Yeah, both teams are scoring well, but there hasn't been much defensive resistance either.
Come get it, come get it.
Walker against Goodrich. Outside Worthy. Passes it to Baylor. Stolen by Pierce. Tatum. And a high-scoring first quarter. Both teams really filling it up. Lakers on top. They lead by 2. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. We welcome you back. Glad to have you with us as more basketball is on the way. During the break, the players getting refueled. They're looking amped up and ready to get going once again. And from what we've seen so far from the Lakers, guys, what are your thoughts?
Really good sign offensively the way they started this game out, getting a lot of hoops from close range.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get baskets inside. I know you were a three-point shooter, Steve, and a really good one, but it's always easier to score in the paint.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Well, guys, as everyone knows, Anthony Bennett was the #1 overall pick this season. And with the rise of the three-pointer in the NBA, the value of the so-called stretch 4 has never been higher. Stats have shown that playing 4 long-range shooters on the court at one time is a huge advantage for an offense. So for Bennett, a forward who can shoot with range and do damage inside, he finds himself in a league eager for his talents.
Certainly a player to root for. Thanks, Doris.
And, you know, he's still so young, but has shown a lot of promise. It's going to be really fun to watch him develop.
Here's Garnett after Pau Gasol's bucket. Shots good by Walker.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Yeah, shoddy defense there. Far too slow to react on the closeouts.
Well, you know, when Rajon Rondo went down last season and the Celtics looked to be out of any title contention, Kevin Garnett, guys, became a very hot topic on the trade market. And with his ability and experience, that should be no surprise.
Lakers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Well, you look at last season's numbers, guys, down below 70% as a team from the line.
And, you know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
You talked about what Garnett can bring to a team. He's still an impactful player. Offensively, a deadly jump shooter. He reached 25,000 points last season with Boston. Also a great passer.
But it's defensively where he really makes his mark. One of the best defensive forwards I think the league has ever seen. His ability to communicate, to guard pick and roll, to switch out onto point guards and stay in front of them. And then the intensity, the intangible that he brings to your club.
Now here's Walker. Garnett the pass to Walker. No good. That would have tied it. Lakers leading by 3. Johnson outside. On the wing, Goodrich. 6 on the shot clock. Can't get it to go. So the Celtics will take it the other way. Goodrich against Brown. Walker launches it. That's good. Walker's got 6 points in the quarter.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
That was the 9th straight point from behind the arc, Clark. It feels like they're finding the holes in this defense.
Here's Goodrich. And good coming off the assist by Magic Johnson. Goodrich has got 5 now.
Oh, the rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Shots good by Walker.
That's now a 12 straight points coming off wide-open three-pointers.
You know what it looks like to me out there, guys? I mean, it looks like All-Star Weekend out there. We know how much defense is played. There is actually offense during the All-Star Weekend, no D.
And here is Johnson. Kemba Walker hitting his 3 to go. Goodrich kicks to Johnson. Goodrich. Gasol inside. Pierce covering. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Great job. Take it right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left them no choice but to foul there.
Lakers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. That free throw good from Gasol.
You know, even though he's getting up there in years, guys, Powell's effectiveness shouldn't really drop off much. He's a long, skilled player who doesn't play off the ground very much, and his versatility should help his longevity.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Shaq is checked in for Chamberlain. Anthony Davis comes in for Baylor. And Kobe is subbed in for Goodrich.
Get this board, fellas. Get this board. Picture. Move back over here. Shoes on side.
Both free throws good from Gasol. Clark, you mentioned the versatility of Pau Gasol. Steve, it's really the defining quality of his game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the ability to do so many things offensively as a big guy just really completes a team. Now you can run any kind of offense you want. And Pau, as a passer, as a scorer, as a shooter, has been one of the best in the game for the last decade.
The Lakers in the lead. Shaq with a screen. Johnson attacking. Kobe releases. And good coming off the assist by Magic Johnson.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
Outside, Jones. Lays it up and banks it in. Jones has got 11 points. And here is Los Angeles now.
You know, offensively last season, guys, the Lakers just never seemed to be able to get out of their own way. I mean, they had the worst turnover ratio in the league, and they really struggled to take care of the ball. And even when they got up a shot, a lot of them were questionable shots. They shot the third most threes in the league, but were in the bottom half of the league in percentage.
Allen, that's good.
Boy, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Davis down low. He's against Allen. Johnson outside. He kicks it to Gasol.
I see you. I see there.
He passes to Davis. Front pass the arc. And another three for the Lakers. And going back to the Lakers' offensive troubles last season, the worst free throw percentage, Steve, in the NBA.
And obviously that's attributed directly to Dwight Howard, because the Lakers also led the league in free throw attempts. So Howard was getting hacked. He really couldn't get it going. He made about half his free throws for the season, and that just really carried over into the team's performance.
Now here's Johnson, following the miss by Bill Russell. Johnson kicks to Shaq. What a terrific move that was. Shaq's got 7.
I'll tell you what I love about him, his ability to finish even while absorbing contact. He is so strong, even with defenders hanging all over him, that he continues to finish at the basket.
And he is also a tireless worker under the glass, Steve. More than a few guys have been on the receiving end of one of his elbows when a rebound is up for grabs. He uses his body very well.
Celtics trail by 7. Here's Rondo. Bird outside. Rondo kicks to Jones. Back to Rondo. On the wing, Bird. Shoots it up. That one a little long.
Oh, they're now +5 in the rebound category, really controlling the glass.
And rebounding is one of those non-glamour stats. I mean, it takes work and effort and tenacity and physicality. But when you look at the scoreboard, you can see the correlation.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, gentlemen, the Lakers barely squeezed into the playoffs last season. Despite that, they had the largest luxury tax bill in the league, almost $30 million, more than double the next highest team in the Miami Heat. So, maybe one silver lining for them with Dwight Howard deciding to move to Houston? The team won't have to shoulder the even more punitive taxes that began this season. Kevin?
Good point, Doris. Thanks.
He's making it look easy scoring out there because he's much more efficient here in the second.
Rondo kicks to Bird. Left side, Jones. Shoots off the screen, and it's Johnson with the rebound.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
LeBron, good. LeBron James. And it's a 9-point Laker lead.
Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound. And once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
Now here's Rondo. The dish now to Jones. Back to Rondo.
I got him. Court.
Johnson with the block. It's Davis with the drive. The shot goes in as the ref calls the blocking foul, and he's on his way to the free throw line.
You know, when you're an older team and you try to milk every possession, you've got to be more efficient. And over the past few years, the Celtics have failed to grab offensive rebounds, and that problem was not corrected during their disappointing 12-13 season.
West is checked in for Magic Johnson. Clark, as you said, the Celtics just didn't grab any offensive rebounds at all this last season. Dead last in the entire league in that regard. And, Steve, they were getting, what, about 8 a game?
That's been the case with the Celtics for about the past 4 or 5 years. They've never been a team that concentrated on offensive rebounds, partly because they wanted good transition defense, so they didn't send more than 1 or 2 guys to the offensive glass.
And count it, 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line. That'll put Rajon Rondo on the line. It's on Jerry West. Boston shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here.
Well, how about last season? They shot 80% as a team from the free throw line. That's an impressive number.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for them. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team.
The free throw drops for Rondo.
You know, last season, Doc Rivers said he was hoping for Rajon Rondo to be even more aggressive and assertive than usual. The Celtics are at their best when Rondo looks to score first and then distribute later.
Now here's LeBron. He's got 8. Gets it to go.
LeBron James.
LeBron's got 10 points in the game.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Rondo with it. West picks him up. Here's Jones. That's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got his 4th assist in this one. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. LeBron dishes to West. And again, Los Angeles with the triple. Here's Rondo. He has 5. Kicks to Jones. Back to Rondo. And Shaq sends it back. And so we wrap up the first half. Lakers lead by 12. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the third quarter. But right now, it's time for the Sprint Halftime Show with Dale and Bruce.
And now, brought to you by... And now it's time to break down the first half for you here on this Wednesday edition of 2K at the Half. The Lakers have been just all over the court, wiping the glass defensively. Look, no streaks. They're preventing any second chance opportunities. For LeBron, it's been way too easy against Boston. He's got 10 points and is up to his usual tricks, dropping a lot of dimes all over the court. And the Celtics still keeping at it. They're getting crushed on the glass. They better stiffen that upper lip, find a way to get it done. An impressive first half for Sam Jones. Always a threat to go off in any given game, and he hasn't disappointed. And that's all there is for me here in the studio. Time to send you back to my friend Kevin Harlan and the crew for the second half.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen.
Talk about a terrific game for Jones. He's got 13 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
Yeah, a lot of times he's one of those players who can get hot and stay hot from the three-point line. So I look for him to continue to search for shots out there.
Now here's Rondo. Dishes it to Russell.
You know, last season a lot of folks had the Lakers picked as the super team in the West, the team that would maybe challenge Miami and LeBron, but from the start, it just never was a cohesive group and really had one of the most disappointing seasons in the Lakers' history.
And he can't get the first one.
You got it out. You got it out. Make sure the pitch down there. I got shoot it. I got bag, big. Here we go. I got my man. Right here. Make sure you get the man. Box. Shoot it. Box. I got shooter.
And the second free throw, good. Lakers leading by 11. Feeds to Kobe. Back to LeBron. For the 3. And again, it's the Lakers from deep. Well, Clark, as you said, the Lakers had a lot of lofty expectations put on them, but you never know what's going to happen when a team is put together. And, Steve, they just couldn't reach that bar that was set so high for them.
Yeah, the expectations were so high, Kevin, but injury issues cost them all season long. Nash, Howard, Powell, and, of course, Kobe with the Achilles at the end of the year. And that unit only started 7 games all season together, so they never really were able to develop any chemistry.
Kobe Bryant now at 35 years of age, and you know what impresses me is the way he's adapted his game and remained so effective, even as he's lost a little in the way of explosiveness. He can now beat you on the ground as much as he used to be able to beat you in the air.
The free throw drops for Kobe. Clark, you mentioned Kobe's changes offensively. Plays a lot more, Steve, I think, with his back to the basket.
Well, he's always had great footwork, but he's taken it to the next level. He's so elusive with those pump fakes and the spins. Even with the hand in his face, he's one of the best in the league when it comes to knocking down contested jumpers.
And Kobe drops them both.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
Celtics trail by 16. Rondo kicks to Bird. Working on James. A stupendous finish in traffic. Bird's got 7.
I think he's been kind of passive today. And, you know, maybe that one will get him going. I think for them to be successful, he needs to be the one to do the bulk of the scoring.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Celtics dancers.
It's West with the drive. Shaq. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
That's his second personal foul.
And this will be his second and third shots at the line here.
2 shots.
First one falls for him.
Get this board, fellas. Get this board. Pitcher. Spring back on me.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. Celtics trail by 15. McHale kicks to Rondo. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Clock at 6. The Celtics need to get a shot off. Here's Russell. Almost, but it rolls out.
It's been a great day for them on the boards, Clark. It's definitely been a major factor in building this big lead.
And, you know, from a number standpoint, the advantage might not be that large, but they have been manhandling them inside.
Here's Rondo. Jerry West making his last shot. McHale with a screen on West. Rondo passes to Jones. Back to Rondo. West with some nice D.
Well, they need a shot or two to fall here soon. They're only 1 of 4 since the break.
Kobe dishes to O'Neal.
Been tough for them to try to slow down Shaq. He's got 8 points and 2 rejections.
He's made 2 of 3 from the stripe tonight.
Taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
You got it out. Get you the pitch down there. I got shooter.
O'Neal hits them both. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I gotta find something, you're right. Bird kicks to Russell. Good, and it's Bird picking up the assist.
And that assist earned him a little nod from his teammate after the basket.
LeBron against Bird. Here's Shaq. No good. Nice D from Russell.
Terrific defense at the rim. They got right in his path.
You know, that's part of what great defenders do. They get not only in your path, but in your head a little bit, too.
Now here's Rondo. He has 5. 6 feet out. LeBron with the block. But they get it back. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Jabbar's checked in for Shaq. Los Angeles leading by 17.
You know, it always amazes me, guys, when you look at Rondo, he really doesn't have a reliable jump shot. And yet, because of his quickness, he's still able to get into the heart of the defense and get shots at the rim in the paint. You just can't do that if teams are giving you space in the NBA unless you have the elite speed of a Rajon Rondo.
You know, his shot's been pretty accurate today, but he has not had his usual share of opportunities.
Pass to Havlicek. Back to Rondo. Expanding his range. Rondo with another miss. Well, back to Rondo, Steve. How is he able to get in the lane like that, even with the defense sagging back and knowing he's going to do what he's going to do?
Well, he's incredibly clever with the ball. He's quick. He's savvy. And, you know, sometimes when you sag back, it actually gives the offensive player room to accelerate. And so Rondo kind of goes right at you and then gives you that little Ginobili sidestep and gets to the rim.
Fun player to watch.
Sure is.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
He can't be pleased with all these easy looks they continue to give up.
They're just way too porous as a defense right now. A lot of holes in that defense. It's a good time to use a timeout here.
Jones checked in for Boston. That's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Jones has got 15 points.
Rondo with the nice dish.
Havlicek against LeBron.
I got ball.
Backing him down.
One downside.
That is good.
LeBron James.
They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
Jones. And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul called. He'll shoot free throws.
That's his first personal foul.
And what do you guys think so far
Shooting
about
for
the
Boston.
offensive approach for Los Angeles?
Man, they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
Boy, it's been a super performance from beyond the arc, too. I mean, they've been raining in those threes.
And the first one at the line is good. And the Lakers making a change here. Davis is checked in.
I got shooter here. I got shooter. Here we go. We're going to push it on the miss. We're going to push it on the miss. Stay with the rebound. I got it. I box here. I box here.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And the Lakers with possession here. Now here's West. He's got 7. Davis setting the pick for West.
Celtics
Yeah,
foul.
close, but I didn't think he got on balance quickly enough.
And it's hard to draw charges as quick as players are at this level. That's not an easy bit of work there.
Boston making a switch here. Russell's checked in. Davis gets the screen from Abdul Jabbar. On defense, the Celtics. Right side Worthy. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by Bill Russell. Russell's got 5 rebounds tonight. He dishes it to Rondo. The pass to Havlicek. Worthy defending. Havlicek left side. Rondo's shot is good.
He could have forced a tough inside shot, but made a terrific kick out to find the open jumper instead.
Kobe with it. 8 points for him. Pass to West. Lets it fly. Busts the J after the cagey pass fake. West has got 9 points. Celtics trail by 20. Outside Rondo. He feeds it to Jones. Rondo. Pass to McHale. 6 to shoot. Jones for three, and it's good.
For Sam Jones.
Jones has got 20 points.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
It's West with the drive.
No slowing him down, just some incredible numbers for West. He has 9 points and several assists.
Personal foul.
It's his first trip to the line.
Jerry West. 2 shots.
That free throw good from West. And Los Angeles with some changes. Shaq comes in for Abdul-Jabbar, and it's LeBron in for James Worthy.
Box, I got shooter down here. Gotta get the rebound. Gotta get it. Quick out. Big rebound. Let's get it. Pitch here.
And both free throws good for West. We've got 1:48 left to play in the third. Outside Rondo. Havlicek. That's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Havlicek's got his second bucket of the game to go. The feed to Kobe. Working on Jones. The turnaround Jay. Kobe with the bucket. And the Lakers lead by 19. Now a timeout called by Boston.
They're sending guys to the line way more than they should here. They need to play good position defense and avoid the reach-in sloppy foul.
Birds check in for Rajon Rondo.
For your Celtics dancers.
.125 left to play here in the third. Jones with it. Picked up by Kobe. Jones, the pass to Bird. Back to Jones. The Celtics working the ball around now. Just 5 to shoot. Russell dishes to McHale, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
Los Angeles leading by 17. Backing down is LeBron. Now Russell. He kicks to Jones. 40 seconds left in the third. And here's Bird from the arc. And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
Well, that's an aggressive play, trying to get that rebound. Maybe a little too aggressive.
And it was totally unnecessary, Steve. He was in no position to get to that ball. He should have just conceded.
And he knocks down the first one. And some changes here for the Celtics. Garnett comes in for Russell, and Rajon Rondo subbed in for Kevin McHale.
You got it out. Make sure the pitch down there. I got shooter. I'm out, man. I got big.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Celtics trailed by 19.
Get on Rondo.
And here's Rondo. He has 7. Bird kicks to Garnett. Shaq on him. The jump hook. And Garnett gets it to go on the assist by Bird. Lakers have gone 7 of 11, a lucky field goal percentage here in the third. LeBron against Havlicek. Davis, the pass to West.
Here we go. Let's do it. I got it.
Here's Shaq. Excellent detail from Garnett. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Los Angeles on top, leading by 17. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. that the fourth quarter might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Lakers leading by 17. Shaq with a screen on Bird. LeBron kicks to Davis. McHale's there. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. It goes on Kevin McHale.
Anthony Davis. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Davis. Kobe's checked in for the Lakers.
Get this board, fellas. Get this board. Pinch here. Bring back my feet.
And both free throws good for Davis. Here's Rondo.
Watch Rondo!
Here we go. Get a good look, Rondo.
Now the dish to McHale. Havlicek.
Let's get a good shot.
He passes it to Bird. Outside Rondo. 6 on the shot clock. And he was fouled on the way out. 2 free throws now for him.
Johnson. That's his first personal foul. Shooting for Boston, Rajon Rondo will be at the line shooting 2.
The first one falls. Jones checked in for Boston.
I got shooter. Here we go. We're going to push it on the miss. We're going to push it on the miss.
Get the rebound. I got box here.
Quick out.
That's up.
And Rondo drops them both. Lakers leading by 17. That's tipped. LeBron against Bird. LeBron dishes to Kobe. Can't get it to go. Boston's gone 6 of 11 when they're taking the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Rondo passes to Jones. The three-pointer off the mark.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, a little frustrated now, shaking his head after that miss.
Now here's Johnson.
Go, Kobe!
Shot clock at 6. LeBron outside. Shot from the top of the key. Dives for it. That's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. Chamberlain's checked in for Shaq.
LeBron!
Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Johnson kicks to Davis. And good coming off the assist by Magic Johnson. Johnson's got his 4th assist in this one.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
Now here's Rondo. Back to Havlicek. Got a piece of it.
Rondo!
Kicks it to Rondo. 6 to shoot. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock.
Rondo!
Los Angeles leading by 17. And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But, you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Here's Kobe. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. And he can't bank that one in. Boston shooting 55% from the floor. They're feeling very confident offensively. Here's Havlicek. No good on the triple.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
Well, you don't see him miss that shot very often. When he's open like that, it's usually lights out.
Purely from a size standpoint, that is a mismatch that's going to be hard to overcome defensively.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Now here's Rondo. Havlicek dishes to Rondo. Takes the 13-footer. And again, it's Boston converting. Now here's Kobe. And the Lakers call time here.
Boy, he wants to get everybody on the same wavelength, that's for sure. And he may change up some things here as well.
Looks to me like he saw something that wasn't on the plan and picked now is the time to address it. I don't have a problem with that.
Los Angeles making a switch here. O'Neal's checked in. The open shot by Johnson. The rebound by the Celtics. Russell's got rebound number 8 now on the night. John Havlicek on the wing. And it's LeBron James with the rebound. Lakers leading by 17. Leads them in there. By Kobe. Nasty. Absolutely filthy.
And the building is stunned, partner. He dug deep into his bag of tricks.
He keeps that one handy. I want to see that again.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth.
Right there!
Rondo with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Rondo kicks to McKay. Dishes to Havlicek. Jones up top. 6 on the shot clock. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Shooting for Boston, Sam Jones will be at the line shooting 2.
And that one falls for Jones.
I got to shoot him. Gotta get the rebound. Gotta get it. Quick out. Big rebound. Let's get it. Pinch here.
And so Jones nails both of them. Lakers leading by 17. Johnson, the pass to Kobe. Back to Johnson. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
That's his first.
Boy, we just battled through that initial impact and somehow willed it in.
Excellent concentration. That's what you like to see.
Here's Rondo.
Watch Rondo. I got ball.
Right side, Rondo. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. Rondo's got 6 points in the quarter. Here's Kobe. It's Davis on the wing. Right side, Davis. Johnson outside. Feeds it to LeBron. Clock at 6.
Reset.
Goes up the baseline. Here's Shaq. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. It goes on Kevin McHale.
Shaquille O'Neal taking 2 shots.
He's off on the first. West is checked in for the Lakers.
Get this board, fellas. Get this board. Pitcher. Bring back my feet.
Good on the second free throw. Celtics trailed by 19. Rondo with it. Havlicek outside. Screened by Russell. Back to Rondo. West with the steal.
Hey, watch Shaq.
Shaq pushing to West. Pass to LeBron. He's covered by Rondo.
You'd expect him to nail that one being that close to the hoop.
And Davis can't get it to go.
That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Gets it to go.
Beautiful finger roll to cap that drive off. He knows how to finish with some flair and flavor, guys.
Lakers leading by 17. Here's Kobe. And the bank shot is good. Kobe's got 12 points here in the second half.
And of all the things about him that you like offensively, it's his composure that jumps out at me. The way he never gets rattled. The defense can get in him. He doesn't care. He just continues to do his thing.
And there's something else on his resume that can't be overlooked. Just how many times he's taken over at the end of close games and carried his team to the win.
Celtics have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Rondo kicks to Jones. Now the pass to Havlicek. Shot clock at 6. West with the steal. And now, running up the court, West pushing it up. He dishes it to LeBron. Pass to Shaq. He's covered by Rondo. Shot's good by Shaq.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
Man, it's not necessarily strategic, Clark. It's just a matter of playing with more heart. You gotta play hard, guys.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're down by 21. 1:43 left in the fourth. A platoon swap here for the Lakers. Stolen by Chamberlain.
Help on Chamberlain.
The finger roll finish at the bucket.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
Now here's Brown. And Walker kicks to Brown. Boston, no good that time either.
And in the paint, they have really shown some strength. Their work on the boards has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd certainly call it a mismatch, Steve, at least for today.
Back to West. He feeds it to Goodrich. 5 on the clock. No good. Some solid defense from Brown. Boston's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. That's good. Here's Goodrich. 52 seconds left in the game. West. Passes to Chamberlain. There's the feed to Goodrich. 6 on the shot clock. He kicks it to Abdul-Jabbar. Nails the wide open jump shot.
Well, guys, tonight they came in here and really dictated the terms of the engagement, which is very difficult to do as the visitors.
You're right. That's not usually the way things work in the NBA. It's a great win, and no question, it's going to be a happy plane ride out of here.
Here's Brown after the made shot from Abdul-Jabbar. Back to Brown. The dish to Walker. A 3-ball. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
This run probably just a case of too little too late.
But at least they're still going after it and playing hard. It would have been very easy to throw in the towel a while ago.
Now Goodrich. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, but they showed up to give great effort and to